Hey, everybody, and welcome to Lords of the Night. With me, as always, is your Lord of Punishment. Say hi, Scribe.
Hi, Scribe.
And your Lord of Penny. Say hello, Satsu.
Hello, Satsu.
And I am the Ranting Monkey, your Lord of Pain. And how are you guys tonight?
I'm good. I'm rested and I'm clean. So I'm happy.
Rested and clean.
Yeah.
Is the latter part there some rare event for you or something?
Unfortunately.
Oh no!
You know, black people don't like water.
Well, wait. I did not say that, monkey.
That's what you were getting to.
Oh,
no, it's actually because I've been like on and off sick, and whenever I get out the shower, I feel like when I'm like wet, I feel worse. So I've been like kind of avoiding it. And Squishy's like, "Would you wash your ass?"
How you doing, Scott?
I am full of goldfish and drinking black raspberry sparkly water, so I'm good.
Oh, God.
I didn't have a chance today to go to the store and get any more Dr. Pepper, so I'll have this instead.
And not that anybody seems to care, but I'm okay.
Well, I was going to ask that, but then you guys started talking at the same time, and I was drinking something, so.
I'm okay. No, in all seriousness, I got to see Little Bud today, and she was in a good mood, so that was nice. We played Play-Doh, and she took away the Play-Doh I was using because it was apparently the good Play-Doh. And then her and Grandma went to the store, and I took a nap. So, let's see. We got Monkey Dick, Jim Jones movies. Hit that like button and share our stuff. Do we have anything else before we get into the limited amount of news we have today?
I don't. Not from me, I suppose.
Potatoes.
Let's make Satsu's Day, shall we?
Uh-oh. How's that?
We were asked yesterday if we would sing today for Boatman.
Oh, that's right.
And you said no, right?
It's Boatman's birthday over there in the UK.
Yeah.
And so he'll be hearing this tomorrow.
Oh, so it's Satsu's turn to sing. Gotcha.
I don't know if I got that from that.
Real quick, Flair Fritz, thank you. This stream wasn't in my sub box. Turns out YouTube unsubscribed me to Monkey. Thanks, YouTube. Fuck YouTube.
What?
YouTube, go fuck yourself. I'm going to tweet them here in just a minute. But before then, Boatman, I see you're out there. I see you're listening. This one's for you, baby. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday.
Oh, yeah. Soon you'll be a ship.
Happy birthday.
Maybe even an assault ship.
Happy birthday,
Man.
But probably not. Though.
Happy birthday
to
you.
Happy birthday. Hope you have a great day. And I almost called you Goat Man.
Goat Man.
When the lines come up, I'm like, don't say Goat Man. Don't say Goat Man. Yeah, happy birthday.
Well, here's a new thing we should add to our opening then. It's like, hey, check and make sure you're still subscribed to us.
Right.
Yeah, no shit. Fucking YouTube, man. They keep doing that. Assholes. Anyway, let's see. What else do we have? I'm looking down my list of notes here. I made notes, y'all.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
Let's see. So there's that one's crossed off the list. We're going to cover that here in a second. So I have nothing else.
All right. Well, I have a very limited selection of stories today because save for some allegations and he said, and a bunch of other minor stuff on CNN, nothing major happened today. And you have a super chat.
Thank you, Flair Fritz. Yanni or Laurel? I hear Yanni.
You know,
I hear Yanni because my hearing still functions well, apparently.
The first 3 times it played, I heard Yanni, and then after that, it's been Laurel ever since.
Yeah, if I concentrate for a second, I can hear the Laurel underneath it, but I hear Yanni.
You should go to Twitter. I retweeted the one that Boogie put up. Boogie 2988. That one's great. See, tell me what you hear, guys. Oh, Grisella, thank you so much. It's almost done with the Hulky picture. He sent me a preview of that. It is fucking awesome. I can't wait to see it all done.
Oh boy. So the actual sort of kind of news today, and this recitation of it comes from Gizmodo, and the headline is a little interesting. Senate votes to save net neutrality, proving shame still works sometimes.
It doesn't prove that.
Yeah. In a monumental decision that will resonate through election season and probably immediately die in the House, the U.S. Senate on Wednesday voted 52-47 to reinstate the net neutrality protections the Federal Communications Commission decided to repeal last December. For months, procedural red tape has delayed the full implementation of the FCC's decision to drop Title II protections that prevent internet service providers from blocking or throttling online content. Last week, FCC Chairman Ajit Pai confirmed that the repeal of the 2015 Open Internet Order would go into effect on June 11th. But Democrats put forth a resolution to use its power under the Congressional Review Act to review new regulations by federal agencies through an expedited legislative process. Under the CRA, only a simple majority is needed to pass legislation. With Republican Senator John McCain currently hospitalized and all Democrats on board, only a single Republican needed to vote in favor of restoring net neutrality rules. However, Senators Susan Collins, John Kennedy, and Lisa Murkowski all broke from their GOP colleagues and ensured that the resolution passed. Initial remarks this morning kicked off with Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell saying that, quote, this resolution takes us in the wrong direction, unquote, and insisting that it's a partisan attempt to drum up a campaign issue. McConnell didn't address any specifics about why he opposes the FCC net neutrality protections. Republican Senator Roger Wicker also voiced his opposition and expressed hope that senators would instead vote for watered-down legislation that Senator John Thune, a Republican who has received nearly $1 million in donations from the telecom industry, introduced on the floor today. Blah, 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 blah. Where does this go from here? It doesn't say.
Real quick. Thank you, Sarah Plyer. I always like and share the videos from the stream, and for some reason, it always gets unliked. Very irritating. Oh, the like pops off there?
Interesting.
That's just the God's way of letting you vote twice.
Let's see. Still, today's vote means the proposal will have to go to the House, where Democrats will need to convince 25 Republicans to support net neutrality in order for the measure to pass, and they have until January of next year to do it. The viper pit of morons in that chamber, this is coming from the writer now. The viper pit of morons in that chamber will likely get distracted by Diamond and Silk or some shit before they ever get close to a positive vote.
Okay, here's the thing. One, this is not legislation. Oh, thank you, Twat Waffle. There's a donation with no commentary. If you want to comment, I will read that too. And don't forget, guys, I am running a fundraiser right now. I am trying to raise more funds than Candace Owens because she's just going to waste your money, and I'm going to spend it in a responsible manner on me. Here's the thing. I think this is really stupid, and there's a reason I wanted to talk about this, even though it's going to die in the House. We all know it is. This is not Congress sitting down and doing what they should have done in the first place and passing laws. This is them going, just bring that regulation back. And I'm not keen on the net neutrality rules being set by an arbitrary group of people that are picked by some goddamn politician. Mm-hmm. When I first saw this, I'm like, oh, thank God. They were actually strong-armed into doing their fucking job. And then I read it, and I'm like, oh, no, my bad. Real quick, thank you, Point Curation. This better be for beer. I don't drink beer, but if you name a hard alcohol you want that spent on, you let me know, and I'll see what I can do about that. Yeah, if they want to make this real, if any of them want to actually put their stamp on something that they wrote, fine, do that. But just pushing the FCC to be forced back to that regulation, no, that's not how it should work.
Yeah,
it's fucking retarded. Congress should do their goddamn job.
So the only other story I had is one that would probably show up on MSS News, but it caught my eye on the CNN. I read through the whole thing, so I know a little bit about the twist at the end.
Before you get there, Super Duper Blaster said, "Do you think Trump will veto net neutrality if this comes to his desk?" Absolutely.
Yeah.
And point curation, thank you. This better be for the liquor. On it.
Yeah, the vote today essentially just kicks the can down the road for another 8 months or whatever. That's it.
Yep.
Nothing more. And the midterm elections won't mean anything because the deadline for this is the end of the current class to vote on it. And so it'll be, yeah. Let's see. So this is the one that, see if you've heard this one before. A white woman sees a black man inspecting a house and calls the cops. But there's a twist to this incident. Now,
oh, yeah. I think I watched a video on this today.
Yeah, the twist to this incident might not be the one that the CNN guy means, but what?
I was muted. I was just saying exactly what Satsu. I'm like, why is he talking over me? Like, oh, I'm muted.
Yeah. Let's see. You've seen this movie or video before. Someone calls the police on a black person for doing something, waiting in Starbucks, checking out of an Airbnb, napping at Yale. The police show up and arrests, or angry conversations, or cries of racism follow. That seemed to be the trajectory of an incident in Memphis earlier this month, but then there was an unusual twist. When the police showed, they backed the black guy.
I just want to stop there. That is not all that unusual when the black guy's in the right. It's just we always hear the shit of when, things go really crazy. But go ahead.
You have a super chat.
Oh, thank you, Sanguine. We all know all of this money is going to the midget stripper fund, Monkey. If there were midget strippers around, it probably would.
On May 5th, African-American real estate investor Michael Hayes was inspecting a house he's interested in buying in a Memphis neighborhood. He was pulling a board off the boarded-up home's front down when a woman next door came outside. Hayes said he waved to her. The woman, who is white, and I remember that they say that, asked him what he was doing. He pointed to the sign he had placed in the front yard. Quote, I told her I had a contract and that I was an investor, Hayes, who wanted to get inside the house to take pictures, told CNN, but she wasn't listening to that. She didn't want to hear it. She said he had no right to be in her neighborhood and should leave, Hayes said. Then she called the police. At this point, Hayes, who often records his activities as a real estate investor for his YouTube channel, pulled out his smartphone and started recording. He was rolling when a squad car from the Memphis Police Department rolled up. The video showed Hayes explaining why he was at the home to a Memphis police officer. The officer, soon joined by a second officer, seemed to be convinced that Hayes had done nothing wrong and tells him that if he has any more problems with the woman, to call him back over to the house and, quote, she will go to jail today. Yep. The officer walks over to the woman's yard and talks to her, warning her to leave Hayes alone. Quote, he's just going to go in there and do what he's got to do. You're going to let him do what he's going to do. The officer, motioning to Hayes in the house, says to the woman, if you try to do anything to stop him, I'm going to take you to jail. Hayes then asks if one of the officers will stay on the scene for about 5 minutes so that he can finish his work. A police report on the confrontation was not filed because, quote, no criminal act was committed, Lieutenant Karen Randolph of the Memphis Police Department told CNN. Quote, this incident was handled as an on-scene complaint. But here's the thing, the woman's version. Hayes commended the police officers for protecting him, saying the officers handled it perfectly and made him feel safe. He also alluded that the woman called police on him simply because of his race. This type of stuff is still going on, he said in the video. You know why the lady called the police on me. CNN has reached out to the woman, Tiffany Albert, and is waiting to hear back. But in an interview with CNN affiliate WMC, Alibert said she made her look, I think she means he made her look like a racist. Quote, I'm Spanish, Albert said. My boyfriend is black. It's nothing racist about it. Albert said people used the house to do drugs before the city finally boarded it up. She didn't want the boards removed, she said. It took us so long to get those two houses boarded up, she told the affiliate. The entire incident shocked Hayes, he told CNN, because, quote, I didn't give her any reason to believe I was a threat, but she perceived me as one, unquote.
So once again, this was a case of a white woman being nosy as fuck and not minding her business, even though, like I said, a lot of the headlines are going to say another black person had the police call on them for no reason, which is misleading as fuck. She had a reason, but it was just because she was nosy as fuck. She wasn't minding her business. I mean, it is what it is. Why didn't she
say any of this to the cop?
I only have the story in front of me. I don't know.
Right. No, I'm asking, I guess, rhetorically, but I've seen the video, and she's just kind of a cunt the whole time.
Yeah.
I would have no problem with people in this case because my first thought when I was, if I was him, I would move in the next day, whether that was a good house or not to buy, just to piss this woman off, because it does come off as, there's a black man, rooting around this house. She never when she's talking to the police, brings, hey, that used to be a drug house. I'm just worried because that's what's been going on there. It's not that he's black. It's that I don't want drugs back in this neighborhood.
Right. And she could have relayed that to him instead of just automatically suspecting him to be doing something wrong.
Oh, somebody said I roboted. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. Fucking dumb.
But she could have said that to him too. She didn't have to
that's
say
what I'm saying. She could have relayed that to him before the police were even called. Like, she could have been like, hey, this is why I'm asking, because this has been going on. And he would have clarified like he did, and then that would have been that. Like,
according to what he said in the video, and I don't think this is actually part of the video, it happened before he started recording. He told her that he had all the right stuff to be there. He had a note from the landlord. He had other documentations, and he said he told her all this.
Yeah, and he said he was saying, like, she was asking to see it, and he's like, I don't have to show you, like, my paperwork. Like, why am I being interrogated? I don't understand. Like, who the fuck are you even? I'm just here to do what I need to do and get the fuck out of here. Which he was right. He didn't have to show her shit. Like, who the fuck are you?
And I highly doubt that the CNN affiliate asked her, can we see your black boyfriend? I can claim I have a black boyfriend. Doesn't make it real.
Who? Oh, now you're just dissing Satsu. All right.
I know. Like,
no. Satsu is my wife.
Wait. He's the wife. Okay. All right. Satsu is the wife.
But I don't listen to you, though.
Exactly. Just like my wife in real life, you don't listen to me.
Lady Monkey's a smart girl. Oh, man. Yeah, I saw that shit, and I'm just like, oh, my God, I wish people would just mind their fucking business. That's what it all comes down to. Busybody, nosy-ass people.
But by that same token, how often do we hear, if you see something, say something?
Yeah, there's that too. But, a lot of people take that as, you're dismissing the issue by bringing that up. And it's like, well, what if he was up to something?
Yeah. So, I mean, I can see why you would do that. But once he explained, then, back off, cunt.
Yeah, because nobody, I mean, the way the media is going right now, even if she just questioned him and no incident happened and he talked about it, it would have still been framed the exact same way.
Sure.
But at the very least, she could have, made herself not look like an asshole by just saying, I saw him. I didn't know what he was up to. I asked him what he was up to. He told me. And that was that. Like, there you go.
Thank you, Cassie. If you do have a black boyfriend, at your boy Pat. No, he's not my boyfriend. I just want big hugs from him.
Oh, this. See, when I read this, go ahead.
No, keep going. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, when I read this, I was reminded of this video I saw earlier today by Matt Christensen, where the reverse of this happened, where a lady FaceTimed right after being pulled over for a speeding violation, how the officer had threatened her with violence and did a whole bunch of other things, and how this always happens to black people, And then the police department released the body cam video the guy had, which she apparently didn't know she was being recorded. And none of that happened.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely none of it happened.
That actually just happened with a high-ranking member of the NAACP, I believe it was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I gotta find that article. If anybody can find it, I posted on MSS News. But yeah, I was just seeing that today, and he was like somebody relevant. And
was it the NAACP though? Wasn't it a white woman?
No, it was a black.
That was a different one. Okay, yeah, because I know there was one with a city council member somewhere that the same thing happened.
Yeah,
she talked about how horrible they were, and then the body cam footage comes out, and she's just a complete cunt.
Oh, well, I think that was the New Jersey one where she's like confronting the cops about why they pulled over a car with her daughter in it, even though she wasn't like she drove to the location where her daughter and her friends had been pulled over, and then got out of the car and tried to weigh in with her position against the cops to get them to tell her stuff. And they're like, "This has got nothing to do with you." Well, don't you know who I am? I'm blah 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 blah. And she resigned like the next day after the video came out because it's like she's done.
Yeah, they're like, we don't give a fuck about who you are.
Exactly. Well, I know the chief of the police. Like, go ahead, tell the chief of police we're doing our job. Whoa.
I do want to say that the black guy who made the video and the cop involved in this, other than however they might have portrayed her, which may or may not be fair. I'll grant it might not be fair. The way those two interacted and the way that all ended was beautiful. He was very thankful to the cop. The cop handled everything professionally. The fact that we have to point that out is silly because, I mean, that does happen all the time. The whole we have to be afraid of police. No, you don't.
Well, what was funny was the narrative. I'm like, wait a minute. Somebody's narrative is broken. Aren't police supposed to hate black people?
Yeah, that dude was supposed to get out of his car shooting.
Yeah, like this shouldn't be possible. There's no way. Like, according to the narrative right now, you cannot trust police officers, period, because they all are trained to shoot black people. Like, that is the actual narrative right now. So somebody's lying.
There's a Negro on premises opening fire. Do you watch Donut Operator? He's an ex-SWAT who breaks down police videos. I don't. Yeah, haven't seen any of his stuff that I can think of. Okay, just making sure I didn't miss any super chats there. So, with that, guys, that was all we had for news, right?
That's all I had pulled up, yeah.
Which brings us to hashtag MSS News. Guys, if you have a story you'd like us to consider reading on air, hit us up at the hashtag MSS News on Twitter. Doesn't mean we'll get to your story, but we'll do the best we can.
Is that your radio announcer attempt there?
No, that was just me trying to be more passionate.
Oh, passionate.
Didn't you get the passion in my voice?
I got something from your voice.
I know, a boner, right?
Alrighty. Well, guys, let's start off with some porn.
Yay!
Yay! This one comes from Top Ramen Lewis.
Top Ramen.
A porn star that I've never heard of before, but okay. Porn star Christiana Sin, and that's Cinn, says Domino's pizza delivery driver offered her $200 for sex.
Does he know how much she probably makes?
Yeah. A porn star alleges a Domino's driver delivered her a proposition for sex following her pizza delivery, but the pizza chain says the adult film star has her facts wrong. Ooh. Christiana Sin, 28, said she was staying at a hotel in Milwaukee on February 24th when she got hungry and decided to order a pizza from the chain. A few hours after the pizza was delivered, Sin received a text from a number she did not recognize. The person identified himself as Chris and said he delivered to her that day. Sin asked him why he was contacting her when she did not give her number out to him. Chris, quote unquote, replied, "Sorry, if it's a problem, I won't text you at that time to ask you a question." He followed up with a text with, quote, "Was offering you $200, but never mind, you must be one of those bad and bougie." Okay. Urban Dictionary defines bad and bougie as when you wear expensive clothing and are always on fashion trends, or a woman who is savage. Okay. Sin
have to do with anything.
I don't know. Sin presumed the texts meant that man wanted to pay her $200 for a sexual act. She immediately called the Domino's she ordered from regarding the text message. The chain allegedly offered her a cinnamon twist dessert item for her troubles, but she declined the offer. Sin took to her personal Twitter page to blast the company for its disgusting and shameful act. However, Domino's told Fox News it investigated the incident and found the phone number, quote-unquote, Chris texted from did not belong to any employee at the restaurant. Domino's said the owner of the store contacted Sin and explained his findings. Quote, I know that this customer was a guest at a hotel during this time. It certainly seems possible that she had other deliveries during her stay, as the text did not say the delivery was specifically pizza. Sin believes the pizza giant is making up excuses and is considering legal action.
Real quick, thank you, Diesel Dave. Donut Operator did a really good video on that. I'm assuming we're not talking about the porno. And Gregory Hirsch, thank you. He then asked her to do the Wakanda salute. And finally, Sanguine, thank you. In all fairness, she did order extra sausage, and he had just seen a video of where that leads with porn stars. I was going to say, yeah, he did this wrong. If you want to fuck a porn star, you got to show up with your dick on the pizza.
Let's see. Well, I'll do some research into Christiana Sins. I've never heard of her before.
I like your dedication to this show that you're going to do some research on.
I do research every day for this show. I look up stories, I get things together. Here's a fun story. Probably better with the video attached, but all the same. This one comes from Signal Boost. Guy takes advantage of Toys R Us's closing sale to make giant ball pit for his dog in his hallway. And there's a video. Because it's cute. It's a little husky dog, and he's jumping around into balls in the hallway.
All right, it's a dog.
It's cute. That's why. I mean, there's no story. There's no story to this. It's just.
Plus, he got all the balls for cheap.
Exactly. So I'll put the link in the chat. I mean, there's not much of a story to it. It's just like you want to watch a cute little puppy dog jumping through colored balls. There you go.
I posted that story up, by the way, Scribe. I don't know if you refreshed the page, but it's up there.
Somebody should let Kilroy know they have that kind of sale going on for next year.
Right.
You put what story up? Sorry.
The one about the NAACP dude.
Oh, did you put it MSS News?
Yeah.
Okay.
I probably need to refresh it because I just.
This new Twitter app sucks. It doesn't give me a refresh button. It doesn't. It's not showing the story. I don't know why. Okay, well, I will wait because there's probably some delay or something with this thing. I'll come back to it shortly. Let's see. We talked about Yanni versus Laurel. Oh, geez. What else do we have? Okay. All right. Subcon Jazz sends us this one. Allen Man, and Allen is a city in Texas. Allen Man busted with 58 terabytes of child porn.
God
Jesus, fuck. Is that like all of it in the world?
A man in Allen is facing federal charges after being caught with a massive amount of child pornography. The Collin County Sheriff's Office said 39-year-old Richard Belden's home on McDermott Avenue in Allen was searched Tuesday. Detectives seized several electronic devices with 58 terabytes of data related to child pornography. A single terabyte is equivalent to 1,024 gigabytes or more than 500 hours of video. 500 times 58, guys. Holy shit. The Collin County Sheriff's Office would like to thank the National Computer Forensics Institute and the United States Secret Service for the training and equipment they continually provide, which makes these types of investigations possible, the Sheriff's Office said. Okay. That's insane.
Good luck in prison, freak.
Yeah.
That is pretty fucking ridiculous.
This one comes from Massive Dynamics. Sounds kind of funny. California man caught breakdancing on video after breaking into building, police say. Yeah. And there's security footage of this. So he's like breaking open a lock on some door, and then he gets inside and he does a little like happy dance. A man in California was caught on camera busting a move before he got busted by police for allegedly stealing a laptop last week. The suspect, identified by police as David Seal, reportedly used a key to unlock an office suite on Tuesday and was caught on surveillance video breakdancing after he initially broke into the building. Shortly after the theft, Seal, 43, was found nearby with the stolen laptop, the Fresno Police Department wrote on Facebook. Once he was arrested, police said Seal gave a fake name and he had, quote, several warrants for his arrest, which included a probation warrant.
Huh.
They don't ask him why he was dancing. So
he was happy.
He was like, I got in. Oh, my God. Okay. This also comes from Massive Dynamics. I think I saw this yesterday somewhere. Famous clown murdered his girlfriend, then live streamed his standoff with police.
You can't trust clowns.
A famous Belgian clown murdered his girlfriend in front of her children and live streamed an armed standoff with the police on Facebook. Kevin Lapierre, saying that right, who rose to fame on Belgium's Got Talent, I'll have to look this guy up, has been arrested on suspicion of killing a 47-year-old woman only named as Carolyn D. and tying up her children aged 12, 15, and 17. The children's father told Belgian newspaper Het Last Nieuws, quote, "It's too horrible, especially my children." Okay. Maybe especially for your children, maybe lost in translation. The victim's body was found in a garage by emergency services on Monday. The 31-year-old, who regularly performed for sick children at hospitals under his alter ego, Dr. Aspirin, is alleged to have broken into Caroline's home in Oudenburg late on Sunday night. Good God. Local media reported that Mr. Lapierre, 31, didn't get along with his girlfriend's teenage kids, which led to their breakup a few days earlier. He is believed to have recruited his clowning sidekick, Detwin Hegerman, also known as Detwin the Yodeler, to kill Caroline in a revenge attack on Belgium's Mother's Day. Jesus Christ.
Wow. That's a sick fuck.
Fucked up. I want to look this guy up on YouTube to see his performance, though, just because that's kind of creepy. I'm doing this. See, I'm doing all this research.
Yeah, don't trust clowns, man. They're fucking weird.
Okay, has this thing refreshed now with Satsu's story? Of course it hasn't. What do I have to do to make this thing refresh? I don't understand it.
Hold on, I'll just send it.
Yeah, okay, there it is. Now it shows up. I got it now. Okay. Yeah, I missed the old Twitter app. The old Twitter app at least gave me a refresh button that would refresh the window. It doesn't do that anymore. Video. NAACP president claims he was profiled on traffic stop, then chief releases video. Let's see. Timmonsville, South Carolina. The South Carolina NAACP president posted about how he was racially profiled on a traffic stop, and now the police chief has responded by releasing body cam video and calling him a liar. NAACP president Reverend Jared Moultrie posted to Facebook on April 13th about how he was racially profiled on a traffic stop. The allegations in his account are disturbing and would indicate profiling by the officer, except none of it was true. Below is a transcript of the interaction as posted by Reverend Moultrie, or Moultrie, whatever. So this goes back and forth from the Reverend to the officer. "Hello, sir. How can I help you? I am stopping you because you failed to put on a turn signal, and do you have any drugs in the car? Sir, how would you know if I used my turn signal when you was approaching me as I turn, and is there any drugs in your car?" What? Okay. "Officer, license and registration." Reverend, "Sir, can I take off my seatbelt and get it?" "Sure." As I opened glove box, I said, "Sir, this is a new car I just purchased, and all I have is a bill of sale, insurance card, and registration from car I am transferring tags." I'm assuming this is him reciting it. Yeah. Okay. This is the Reverend's badly written recitation of the events. It goes on for quite a while. Let's see. "Officer, you need to park this vehicle and never drive it till you get this straight with DMV. I am warning you not to drive this car till tags get straight, and just know I am doing you a favor tonight, not taking you to jail or writing you a ticket." Okay. The Reverend finished off his post by saying that his wife and baby were in the back seat, but still he was profiled and accused of having drugs. "Guess I can't be a pastor and can't drive a Mercedes-Benz and live in a nice neighborhood," the Reverend said. "Someone needs to answer for this behavior, and this officer will." After seeing the post, local community activist Timothy Waters went down to the police department to look at the body cam and dash camera footage. He was shocked to see that everything the Reverend said was a lie. Quote, "Once I got a copy of that body cam, it's as if he made the whole story up, and I felt like he set us back 100 years, because think about all of the racial profiling cases that are true," Waters told WPDE. WPDE reports that Timmonsville Police Chief Billy Brown, Chief Billy Brown, said that Reverend Moultrie even went so far as to contact him the next morning to claim that he had been racially profiled and mistreated. Quote, he made a comment that the officer accused him of having drugs in the car. He said that his wife and grandchild was in the car. He asked them not to move because the officer looked as if he might shoot them or something. He also made mention that the officer continued to ask him about his neighborhood. Why was he in that neighborhood? And threatened to pull him in jail in reference to something dealing with the registration of the vehicle. Chief Brown told WPDE, except all of those accusations were lies. Quote, when I saw the video, I was shocked that someone who is supposed to be a community leader, a pastor, and head of the NAACP would just come out and tell a blatant lie. It bothered me. It really bothered me, thinking about the racial unrest it could have cost in the community, and it's just troubling to me that someone who held a position like that would come out and just tell a lie. The Reverend refused to comment to the news station and instead referred them to Timmonsville NAACP officers Kenneth McAllister and Henry James Dixon. Both men told the station that they didn't need to see the video because they support Reverend Moultrie and know that he's a man of integrity who wouldn't lie. Here's a video of the traffic stop below. Let
me get this super chat because it's been a while. Thank you, Seal77. That's the only way I could send a story direct to Ranting Monkey. Hope that was okay. If you're gonna do that, it's better to hit me as a regular post. My Twitter ends up all fucked up anyway. It was fine, but I don't see most of them that way. They're going to support him even though there's video footage.
Yes.
Showing he's a liar. Because all you have to do is not look at the footage and it doesn't exist. See?
You know, this is actually why I support body cams. It's not for when the police do something bad. I mean, that's a good thing too. But there's so many stories that come out like this. I know people in my own life who tell stories about the police, and it's like, there's no way that happened that way. Just none. You were an asshole. I know you're an asshole. I've known you for years and years. Don't lie about the cops like that. So I think I support body cameras more for instances just like this, where somebody's fucking lying their ass off about what the police did.
Let's get a couple of Florida stories in here. So this one comes from senior staff reporter and chief Florida correspondent Colleen Bernier. Of course, this is true. Florida man gave a teenage girl methamphetamine to, quote, keep her off the streets.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
A Pasco County man told investigators after his arrest that he was keeping a 14-year-old girl off the streets by giving her methamphetamine. Keith C. Keller, 41, of Zephyr Hills, was arrested after deputies with the Pasco County Sheriff's Office executed a search warrant on his home in March. Deputies found a very distinct-looking glass pipe in his bedroom that tested positive for methamphetamine, according to the arrest affidavit. In an interview with deputies, Keller admitted to giving the girl the pipe and meth to smoke. He said he was giving her the drug to, quote, keep her off the streets. Detectives also found several SD cards and thumb drives in the bedroom that held videos of Keller and the 14-year-old. In the video, Keller handed the girl the pipe, and she can be seen smoking meth from it, according to the affidavit. He also told her to remove her clothes in the videos, but she declined. Keller was arrested March 27th and is facing several charges in connection with providing meth to a teenage girl and trying to have sex with her. The girl was listed as a runaway and a ward of the state at the time of the incident.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a winner. And one more here from Colleen Bernier. Oh, here we go. Woman's pelvic area smells like what in Vero Beach? Okay. Indian River County. Don't you hate it when your pelvic area, smells like marijuana? Particularly when the person sniffing the wafting weed is an Indian River County Sheriff's deputy. That appears to be the situation for Jeanette Onyana, 18, on May 1st in an incident that got Nelson. Okay. Oh, sorry. Her name is Jeanette Onyana Nelsoy. Nelsoy? I don't know. In an incident that got Nelsoy and another woman locked up. The case began about 1:45 a.m. as a deputy saw a sport utility vehicle pulled in a closed Citgo on the 1400 block of US 1. A man was running from 41st Street into the SUV's back seat. The deputy stopped the SUV, and a drug-sniffing dog, quote, alerted to the presence of narcotics within the vehicle. Nelsoy, the passenger, had a, quote, strong odor of marijuana emitting from her pelvic area. The average human pelvis does not emit a strong odor of marijuana. Jesus Christ. Investigators arrested Nelsoy after finding apparent marijuana residue on the passenger seat and floorboard where she was sitting. Nelsoy also reported having pot, quote, stuffed inside of her vaginal area, an area where items typically are not stuffed. Well, depends on who you are. Meanwhile, the vehicle driver, 19-year-old Abigail Rose Crawford, was also arrested. What a bunch of upstanding teenagers we got here.
Yes, yes.
What else do we have? Got that one.
Her crotch smelled like skunk. Way to go.
I
have one in there for you somewhere.
Oh, do you? Okay, I'll look for yours. When did you post it?
Oh, God. Hours ago.
Okay, I'll look for it here. It must be higher up on the chain then.
That's right, I'm higher up.
Is there a monkey? I don't see a monkey face. Okay, I'll keep going. I'll go back down. Did you make sure to spell it right? MSS News?
Yeah, what I never spell it all the way out. I start typing it in, it autofills, and I click on that so I spell things right.
Well, I don't see anything from you in the last several days. So if you know what it is, I would recommend that you tell me, because I don't see it.
I'm going to look for it myself.
Or this is the Twitter app fucking me over again, one of the two. What's this? Oh, here we go. I'll do one more from Colleen Bernier while you look that up. This looks funny. Ontario teacher had sex with a watermelon. Ex-student tells Sudbury trial.
At school?
A teacher once demonstrated how he had sex with a watermelon, a former student told the Sudbury man's sex trial on Tuesday. Sex trial. Quote, we started having conversations about pornography and stuff, the now 19-year-old man recalled while testifying at Damir Bullock's Superior Court trial. He showed me what he did with the watermelon. He had sex with it. He took a knife, cut a hole, and had sex with it. It was 3-4 feet away. It was kind of weird. It was pretty out of the blue that he did that. There was no indication he was going to do that. The student said the sex happened when he was alone at the Bullock home near the end of the school year in early 2011. Bullock, 46, who is not in custody, is facing 4 counts of performing an indecent act and 1 count of invite sexual touching. Invite? I don't know what that means. All allegedly involving the same male minor from September 1st, 2010 to September 30th, 2011. The alleged incident acts. Okay, this is like got to be translated from something or somebody just, I don't know. The alleged incident acts include exposing genitals to and masturbation in front of the teen. Okay, well, fucking a watermelon. There you go.
I just can't imagine putting your dick in a watermelon would feel good.
Yeah. Cold and wet. Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, wet I'm down for, but cold? I just sent you that story in the DM, dude.
Okay.
Maybe it was a long watermelon.
Okay, so this one comes from The Ranting Monkey. Oh, yeah,
that's me.
I saw this posted on Twitter elsewhere. College grad wears gun holster with AR-10 in her graduation photos.
For the record, she's not wearing a holster.
Yeah, unless her back is her holster, I guess. A recent college graduate from Kent State University in Ohio is gaining attention online for graduation photos she posted on Twitter. Caitlin Bennett shared photos of herself wearing an AR-10 strapped to her back and her graduation cap in hand. Excuse me. A picture of a gun and the words, quote, come and take it, decorated the graduation cap. Quote, now that I graduated from Kent State, I can finally arm myself on campus, Bennett wrote in the post. I should have been able to do so as a student, especially since 4 unarmed students were shot and killed by the government on this campus. Bennett is referring to the killing of 4 people on Kent State's campus in 1970. After days of unrest over America's invasion of Cambodia during the Vietnam War, student protesters clashed with Ohio National Guardsmen. The Guardsmen opened fire, killing 4 students and wounding 9 others. Bennett tweeted several images from a photo shoot that she took to mark graduation. In the photo, she poses around Kent State University's campus wearing a white dress and a gun holster around her body. It's not a gun holster. Person writing this, that's just a strap. Yeah, carry strap, whatever. She explained in one tweet that the gun is an AR-10 and it, quote, fires at the same rate as any modern pistol, not an assault rifle. It is tradition at many colleges for students to decorate their graduation caps with clever sayings and personal messages. The message Bennett chose, come and take it, referring to her gun. Some Twitter users replied to Bennett's photos with disapproval or worse. She posted screenshots of her exchange with an aggravated Twitter user who appeared to threaten her physically. Good job, guys. Bennett says Twitter suspended that person's account. Quote, the rifle is legally owned. Assault rifles have been banned for decades. Do you not see the problem here? You say you don't want to take away legally owned guns, but had no idea that the rifle pictured as legally owned, she replied to other commenters. When someone questioned if the police would support Bennett's public display of the firearm if she were black, Bennett replied, quote, the black officer that was with us during the photo shoot loved it, actually. Give him a call, she wrote.
Good on you, girl.
Bennett also got support on Twitter with one person writing, quote, the gun offsets your dress beautifully. Stand your ground. You go, girl. A lot of us have your back, another commenter wrote. Yada, 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 and the world still turns.
Yeah. It's a beautiful gun. It's something that I would use in 7 Days to Die, which we'll get to here in a few minutes.
It's a sling, says Red Chaos Tree, and Cracked. This is me not being a gun enthusiast.
Yeah,
but it certainly wasn't a holster. It was certainly not a holster, yeah.
Okay, I need to share something here real quick. As soon as it pops up, damn it. My computer's going to do it.
Son of a bitch.
What was that?
Satsu dropped his keyboard.
Oh my God.
I know that sound enough to pick it out of a lineup. It sounds like Yanni. I need this to pop up. Do you guys have much? I know, Scribe, you have a... Oh, by the way, Scribe, I want to use you for deep topic time tonight.
Excuse me?
You heard me. Satsu, did you do much of a video today? I didn't see.
I did. Well, actually...
Okay.
I upload...
Hello?
He muted himself.
Oh, I thought I did something because I had just clicked the button.
I uploaded it, but I didn't.
Did he do it again?
He did it again.
Holy shit. Okay.
Why is it doing that? Every time I unmute myself, it mutes me back.
No, okay.
Oh my God, that's crazy. Oh my God, that's so cool.
Awesome that is.
Oh, there's me. Oh, wow, that's neat.
Look up in the corner. There's you and Satsu and me, yeah.
Oh, that's great.
That comes from Grisella. That is really fucking awesome, and thank you so much for taking the time to do that. That's is amazing.
Crazy.
That's legit. So like
am I allowed to share that? Grizz, can I share that?
That's awesome.
That is fucking amazing, yeah.
So did you guys actually hear what I said about the video?
No, you kept fucking muting yourself.
I said I uploaded the video, but I didn't make it public because I was going to do it tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we did not hear that.
Oh my God, what the fuck? Okay, yeah, that was weird.
I just wanted to confirm that Christiana Sin is really a porn star.
And is she?
Yes, she is.
Is she skanky looking, or is she like?
No, she's. I mean, it looks like she's had some nose work done. It just looks a little too perfectly sculpted, if you know what I mean. Otherwise, no, she looks fine.
All right.
But I mean, that's not a criticism so much as an observation.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get YouTube time out of the way. Satsu didn't do anything; he's doing it tomorrow. I didn't do anything; I slept my day away. Scribbles, I really want to wait until after YouTube fuckery to get to yours because I really
well, then go ahead. It's your show, dude.
yours is something that I think is a great deep topic. The video you did today, and I don't want to break it up.
Okay, well then,
does that make sense?
You know what? Your show.
Do your thing, monkey.
You can mess around with the format as you choose. You'll just give me an aneurysm, and that's fine.
So, at risk of Scribe's aneurysm, we're going to change this just a little bit because if you guys didn't see his video today, you really should have watched it anyway. But the topic he discussed, I really want to address that as a deep topic for tonight. So, internet fucketry. Dun dun dun. I have two. There's actually three. Let's do the one real fast. Amos Yee was on Kumite, blah blah blah. A bunch of stupidity ensued because it's Amos Yee and the Kumite. So you guys can go watch their shit if you want to know more. I did see, however, what was kind of interesting. Short Fat Otaku has apparently been goading Jim to get him on their show.
Okay.
And they set up a date to do it. And Jim's like, fine, fuck it, I'll do it. And suddenly they're like, nah, we were just kidding, bro. I don't know what it's even all about. I tried looking into it and got distracted. But so, yeah, that's going on out in the world. And look forward to Jim taking a fun shot at those guys. Because it's not just Short Fat Otaku. It's whoever he does his stream with. Mm-hmm. I forget the other guy's name. But, yeah, apparently they decided, they were going to do it this Friday. And, as soon as Jim said, all right, fine, I'll do it, they were like, nah, man, we take it back. Which is stupid.
Short Fat Otaku, I remember during Gamergate, they put out a series of little documentaries on some strange things going on in some of the game award ceremonies and things. And some of the sort of incestuous relationships and connections between people who won and why they won and that kind of thing. That's what I remember most of Short Fat Otaku. I haven't seen much of their stuff in the last couple of years. So that's why I know the name. And they back then they did good stuff. I don't know what they're doing these days.
The only thing I know about them, you had mentioned, because I brought them up not too long ago, because they did a great video on all of the JF stuff, the court stuff with JF. And you mentioned then that they were Gamergate. I'd never heard of them before that, but yeah, if you're gonna go with somebody onto your show, you might want to just let them on when you finally they finally agree. Yeah. Otherwise, don't do it. Because you just don't look good at that point. And then the other one is the PewDiePie thing. Did you see this, Scribbles?
No.
Oh, I saw it. That fucking bitch.
I'm out of the loop on this one. What happened?
There's a chick named Alinity. I think I'm saying her name right.
Okay.
And she's a Twitter booby girl. Let's call her that.
Twitch thought.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, not Twitter, Twitch. Twitch thought is actually what PewDiePie called her. PewDiePie was doing a video where he was testing the focus. I forget what the technology is called. Eye tracking. Thank you. Yes. And part of what he was doing was going to different Twitch girls and looking at them. And he comes across what's her name?
I can't remember her damn name.
Alinity. That's it. Alinity. Fuck.
All right.
He comes across Alinity at one point, but he doesn't stay on her very long. He goes to someone else, and he's looking through all of these. Well, he happens to call the Twitch girls thoughts, and Alinity is watching PewDiePie's video, taping herself watching PewDiePie's video, and starts freaking out about how she's going to copyright him over it. Not over the footage, but over him insulting her.
Yeah, and she was like inciting other people to do it too.
Real quick, thank you, Point Curation. Short Fat Otaku does quality content on Canada. No opinion on the rest of the stuff. Yeah, fair enough. Like I said, I haven't seen enough of his stuff to give much an opinion other than that. But this story is much more important or interesting to me anyway, because she works for a company called, I forget, I don't even care. That's somebody she works with, and she called them up and had them strike him for this thing. And she swears, or the company involved swears they didn't do it, but PewDiePie got a claim on it. And he's since taken the video down and re-uploaded it without that nasty bitch in it. But the bitch says something in her defense of this, because a lot of people were obviously pissed off that she did this, because she wasn't really making a copyright claim. She was being a cunt. She was upset that somebody insulted her. Well, she makes the claim that she gets a lot of money every month from copyright claims.
Okay.
So basically what this chick does is goes around and anywhere her name pops up, files a copyright claim. Now, I don't want to say anywhere. In a lot of places, apparently. And yeah, she's just making money off other people's content.
Yeah, and she says I don't really understand the rules behind it or how it works. All I know is when I make the claim, I get money. So if you talk about me in your videos, if you have me there, if you say anything mean about me or anything like that, or if you didn't ask my permission to use any of my content, then I'm gonna get your money. Like, that's basically what she said.
Yeah, and I forget the guy's name. I should have wrote this down. There's a small channel, like less than 2,000 subscribers, who covered this story and played just a tiny clip of the PewDiePie situation itself at the beginning of his video, and then spends 5 minutes just talking about it, not showing any other video. It's literally him talking to a camera. And they flagged that one too. This is some shit. Now, I understand that YouTube has an obligation to copyright holders to if a claim is filed, they have to go through the motions. And that's fine. But once it gets to a certain point, I think people should have that ability withdrawn. If you make too many false claims, you should have it withdrawn. And the only problem there is the only way to prove it's a false claim is to go all the way through the court process. Yeah. And what I don't understand is why somebody like PewDiePie, I don't think he should go all the way through the court process. But for the most part, if you challenge these, and especially in this instance, there is no way these people are going to take you to court, because that's the next step. Because it's knowingly filing a false DMCA, which, by the way, is fucking illegal.
Right.
Wait, doesn't PewDiePie just have as much right to flag her video where she talked about flagging his video? He has as much right, but he's not a dick. I mean, PewDiePie can be a dick, but he's not going to do it just to be a dick. I mean,
that we know of.
Well, in fairness, I mean, she's doing commentary and stuff, so that would be fair use. And to just do it in that same mention would be, if she mentions him, he could counter. He could, but again, guys, you can't use fair use to get back at somebody who's using fair use improperly. I mean, you can't improperly use fair use to get back at somebody who's using it improperly.
Right.
But yeah, so that's
kind of how people are using free speech to try to cancel other people's free.
Well, the only difference there is, again, if you know what you're doing is not actually a fair use issue, it's illegal to file a DMCA. Because when you file a DMCA, you sign off that under penalty of perjury, you know that you honestly believe that this is a fair use issue. Excuse me. Thank you, X Bubba Hotip. For chewing in the video should be a crime. I hate people chewing. I don't care who it is. Jesus himself could come back, and if he was chewing while he was telling us we're headed to the promised land, I'm be like, fuck it, I'm going with the devil. Don't talk with food in your mouth, people. Which that's all I have, unless you guys had some internet fucketry you knew about.
I keep thinking that I saw something today that not coming to mind. Whatever it is, it must not be that important.
Yeah, the thing I shared was pretty much what I had. There's a bunch of other shit going on that I see on Facebook daily, but I need to preserve some brain cells.
The only other thing I've seen is there's a whole bunch of white guilt going on right now.
Oh, yeah?
And I saw some woman today who, God, I wish I could remember her name. You guys know me. Look it up on my Twitter. I have no memory. But she put out a post that said, I can't remember the exact quote. It was either, what is wrong with white people? What the hell's wrong with white people? What the fuck is wrong with white people? I don't remember.
Oh, yeah. I think I know what post you're talking about. I commented on that, too.
And she was surprised she got a whole bunch of backlash for it. Now, what she was talking about was white people calling the police on black people.
All right. Okay.
And in a follow-up to her original tweet, she actually mentions systemic racism. A random stranger calling the police is not systemic. It's just not, no matter how racist that person is. If you don't know what systemic means, then you need to look it up.
I think I responded to that tweet saying, "Yeah, fuck those stupid whites." Am I doing not being a racist correctly?
Jawbreaker, the Lost Soul comic that was shut down. We've talked about that. That's the diversity in comics one. We haven't talked about it too much because I don't really know that much about it. I do know they raised a shit ton of money. I know that what's his name? Wade, I don't remember, from Marvel got involved with his publisher.
Mark Wade, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, there's not a lot that's happened since then. We talked about it a couple days ago. But that brings us to you, Scribbles. Let's talk about your video today.
All right. Well, you seem to be very enthusiastic about it, so I give the floor to you.
I apologize because I'm going to, usually you give a very brief synopsis of your video, and I'm going to ruin the fuck out of it for people. If you haven't seen it, still go watch it. Go watch the actual thing so you can see what we're talking about. But you did a video on a dude, I don't know. I don't know anybody's names tonight, guys.
I honestly can't remember. I'd have to look it up, too. I didn't pay that much attention.
TEDx talk. And from the beginning of it, it sounds like he really wants the government to fund artists.
Yes. Well, here I'll give the synopsis and then we can talk about it.
Sure.
And just as a warning, because people are complaining about spoilers, there is a twist to this story which will just inevitably be spoiled in talking about it. So
we can probably avoid the twist, and that can be why people go watch.
Okay. Well, I will give a brief overall. So this is a TEDx talk that oddly was apparently originally given in December of 2016, but they only just posted it in the last few days, which was really, really odd in the first place. So what you have is a speaker who starts out by telling a story of how he was going to college to become an engineer, but then had a sort of personal evolution or something and decided that he was going to drop his pursuit of being an engineer or getting an engineering degree, and instead pursue a career in music.
Yes.
Now, he told his 5 brothers and his family about this, and they were all like very skeptical, etc. And then he moves into a complaint about why it should be so difficult for artists to make a living. He basically talked about sort of the cliche of the starving artist. Why should artists why should we just accept that artists have to live with these difficult circumstances and things like that? And it sounded like he wanted to change that kind of. So he goes into this spiel about how. And it's a familiar one that I've heard for many different topics before. It's like, well, the government spends X number of zillions of dollars on the military. They really should be thinking about putting forth more money into the arts because the arts are good. And this is how much America puts into the arts. The NEA, the National Endowment for the Arts, only puts in $146 million per year. That's not enough. Yada, 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 yada. And so it's almost like he's begging for free money. Because that's what it comes across as in the first 3 quarters of the video, is that he's saying, artists shouldn't have to starve. They should just be given money because they're artists and they're not being given enough money. Now the numbers he throws out are really weird to me. And the first couple times I watched, I thought, I have to be missing something because I'm not an economist. I'm not some kind of accountant. The things he's saying don't make a lot of sense to me, because what he said was, or the comparison he made, was that the European Union has a artists fund that provides $2.4 billion annually as compared to America's $146 million. Why can't America be as generous as the EU? I was like, the EU? You mean the conglomerate of 28 separate nations with their own economies, EU? And so I thought, what's the average donation from the EU states to this economic artistic fund? And if you take $2.4 billion and divide it by 28, the average annual contribution by each one of these countries is $86 million.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I have to be getting something wrong here. This guy can't be just throwing this stuff out that's so easily like contradictory to what he's trying to say, is it? And then, of course, and I also looked this up because I thought, I know that there are initiatives in my own state that have artistic funds and things like that. So there's got to be like state by state donations for the arts, right? Oh, and there are, and if you take all the state appropriations, the individual appropriations put together by state governments, and add that on top of the NEA stuff, America puts forth something in the neighborhood of $450 million per year, next to any member state of the EU's $86 million. And so this whole thing is it's not my usual fare. Like, he's not talking about social issues per se or like diversity or whatever. I just got very fascinated by how ridiculous his argument was. But then, and I'm not going to give it away, but then at the very end of the video, and I stopped, I didn't go do the whole video. I left off like maybe 5 or 10 minutes. But at the very end of the video, the whole thing takes a complete turn 180, even from where I was before. This is what I was talking about my tweet the other day, where it's like, you're listening to something kind of like, I don't know if this is content worthy for me. And then he started talking about the numbers game of how much the government pays versus how much they make off of art in a year. And then he gets to the end, and I'm just like, you have got to be shitting me. And I don't want to give it away, but that's the setup. Okay, Monkey, you go.
Well, I wanted to talk about this idea about government funding for the arts. And he actually shits on his own argument, because his own argument is we need more funding for the arts because we only spend 145 million. And then he brings up the number that artists are contribute, I think it's 1.66 billion to the economy each year, something like that.
Right. He said that nonprofit artistic endeavors in the U.S. generate $166 billion per year. And again, I don't know if these numbers are accurate. These are the numbers he's giving, but just based on the numbers he provides, I'm like, so the U.S. government invests $146 million. The resulting earnings from it are $166 billion. What exactly is off here, except that that's a ridiculous rate of return?
Yeah. And that is the problem. I mean, I understand if you want to be a musician, you want to be a painter, you want to be a photographer, and you want that to be your job, and not being able to do that can be very frustrating. But the problem is that's capitalism, guys. Real quick, thank you, Gregory Hurst. Art isn't a necessity, so it shouldn't receive government money. End of story. Why should taxpayers fund art they might hate and doesn't help anybody? Art does help, and you can argue about how it helps and stuff. But I have no problem with some funding for the arts. I don't. If we want to have a national symphony, great. But like he points out that if you took half of 1% of the military budget, you could fund 20 symphonies at $20 million a piece.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to fund a fucking symphony for $20 million a piece, you ass. Thank you, Sanguine. Patronage needs to be revived. Well, you watch the video. But I've had this argument with people a long time, because I do think arts are important. I really do. I think learning about art is important. But once you get into the real world, you're only as good as what you can sell. And that goes, and that's not just in art. I mean, that goes for your own talents as well, whether you're in business or if you have an English major. You can only get what people are willing to pay for. And this idea that, well, I want to be an artist, I should get money, is fucking retarded. And I have a real problem with it. And I was wondering just that aspect of it, what you two think. The idea that just that artists should be funded just because they want to be artists.
No. If that's the case, then I second that notion for YouTubers.
Yeah, no shit.
I kind of make that joke in the video because it's like, I mean, he essentially says that, you know, because he made a decision not to become an engineer and instead has decided to classify himself as an artist, that somehow he should be somehow entitled to a $50,000 a year salary based on what the government could conceivably, excuse me, provide with reducing the military budget or something. And I'm kind of like, well, I decided not to become an engineer, so can I get 50 grand for making YouTube videos?
Right. Like, let me get in on this. I mean, I think it's stupid, but if they're gonna say yes, let me let me get some of that.
Well, again, I love the idea of art. I think a lot of it is stupid, and I would never pay for it. But if other people want to, that's great. But art also encompasses music, which I'm a huge music fan. So as I was watching your video, and he's talking about, you know, governments needing to help with arts and stuff, I honestly, in my mind, I was picturing Motley Crue. And I don't know why they're the ones who popped in my head, but I'm like, these are some dirty, nasty motherfuckers who just made stuff people wanted to hear. And if you want to be in art and make money, that's kind of what you got to do. You have to give the people what they want. And if you're not, then you need a new job. I don't see why, because he actually makes it sound kind of bad that because his brothers answered back. One of them's like, okay, maybe that's supportive, and his second one, don't do it. You need to keep a job. And like, yeah, your brothers are right, dumbass.
Yeah.
How about this? How about get your engineering degree? Get a job in engineering, and play your music on the side.
Yeah, I say in there, it's like, well, if you really want to spend the government money on something useful, how about put it towards science education or engineering education and scholarships for things like that. And then once someone has something worthwhile to fall back on, then pursue a career in the arts, because it's a gamble. It is always a gamble because art is subjective. The monetary value of art is always only going to be worth as much as someone's willing to pay for it. And, you know, something like an engineering degree is somewhat ubiquitous. Something like an MBA is pretty ubiquitous. You can take that and go a lot of places with it, depending on your own personal initiative. But you could spend your whole life trying to be a musician and never make a dime. Yeah. That's not a decent gamble for you, your future, your family, or anybody. So,
well, I mean, it's no wonder he quit being an engineer because he wasn't thinking like one. Because if he was,
I don't want to give away the ending. I don't want to give away the ending, but yeah, it's quite a show. Anyway,
okay.
Real quick, thank you, Gregory Hurst. When artists are killing ISIS, I'll agree with him. Yeah. Again, just because art is important doesn't mean every artist is important.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe he could have used his engineering skills as an engineer to create some awesome musical shit. If he would have like kept going with it. I've seen shit like that happen.
Well, and there's also a Scribe brings this up in the video when they're talking about, you know, if you cut this much out of the military funding, you could give 20 symphonies $20 million, and Scribe's like, what about the homeless? Like, yeah. Yes. I mean, there are so many more things that we should, you know, try to fix before we get to starving artists having to get a real fucking job.
And he even says that at one point. He says, like, and I'm paraphrasing, but he said something to the effect of, like, you know, the hardship of artists having to take on jobs they don't want to just survive. And I'm like, all of us have jobs we don't want to survive. What world do you live in? And then by the end of the video, he tells you what world he's living in. So,
well, that's a good point. I mean, it's kind of a mentality. I remember when I was a kid, you'd occasionally in school or whatever, you'd hear a story about somebody who worked 3 jobs to make ends meet to put their kids like through college and stuff.
Yeah.
And nowadays, the idea that you should have to work one job you don't like is like the worst thing ever. Like, how dare they expect me to work for food?
Yeah.
Like, we become so fucking weak.
Well, I mean, this is the dividends of peace I guess, in relative terms. You know, the dividends of abundance. When you don't have to worry about the basics for the most part, you find something to worry about or complain about because you need to, I guess. I don't know. It just anyway. This guy is this video is interesting, not because it's like social justice or anything necessarily. You could make an argument that extrapolates to that, but it's just the evolution of what he's talking about and his arguments as it goes, because it starts out as one thing, seems to transition to a second thing, and then by the end you're like, oh, this is the setup? What the fuck?
Yeah, amazing. Definitely watch the end of the video, because yeah, I was with you when he hit us up with that. I was like, oh my god. And actually, I mean, we'll have to talk about this off camera.
Yeah,
I do want to talk about something else there, but I'm so tired of this notion that just because arts are important that we have to pay for every fucking artist. Most of them suck, and there's a reason they're not making money.
What the hell?
What did you do?
No, that was my neighbors upstairs.
Oh shit!
Wow. Bang on the ceiling.
I would.
Oh my god! I just realized I'm still looking at that awesome picture Grisella did. That is fucking amazing. The price for that first issue is $1 billion. Nice. Oh man, it's also released on the 43rd of May.
43rd of May. I didn't see that. It's funny.
Miss Slim One, thank you. LOL. I was raised to get a job, career to support my needs and wants. When did this change? Largely with my generation, Gen X. The lazy ones who sat around in their dirty clothes and called it music. Nirvana. It's something that's Scribe's right. It's we're too spoiled. When you can sit there and bitch that, oh my god, I could get this really high paying job, but somebody won't pay me to pay music. Yeah, you are too spoiled as a society at that point.
Yeah, and I mean, the likelihood that somebody hits it out of the park on their first attempt at an artistic endeavor is a rare thing. That's why you know those people's names. You know, like when the Wunderkind, or someone that just shows up and on their first try, they, you know, like Harper Lee. Harper Lee writes To Kill a Mockingbird, and I know that there was a sequel published a couple of years ago, but it's really sketchy as to whether or not she really had anything to do with that or wanted that to happen. So as far as I'm concerned, Harper Lee only published one book of her own in her entire lifetime, and it's an American classic. And I made this point in another video. Sue Grafton, a mystery writer, did the Alphabet Mystery series, where like A is for adultery and B is for this, that, and the other thing. And she did like 25, 26 books. None of her books won a Pulitzer. None of her books are going to be considered a great American novel. She had a successful career, but some people hit it out of the park, and they're rare. Some people have to work 3 other jobs and write on the side. I mean, where did oh my god, I suddenly forget her name. Harry Potter lady.
Sorry, Polydub wants to fight.
That is Rowling.
Yeah, J.K. Rowling.
J.K. Rowling. Where was she at before Harry Potter was published? She's practically homeless, living out of a car.
Yeah.
You know, she lucked out. I mean, she lucked out that she did such a good job and that it hit the nerve and everything else. But she wasn't given anything. She struggled, and that's what happens with most artists. So, yeah.
Real quick, Ms. Slim one said, I just turned 30. Are my parents old-fashioned? Probably.
Yeah.
This is getting worse and worse as time goes on, and which me and Polydub are supposed to have an argument. We are going to debate whether things are getting worse or not. He's taking the things are not getting worse side, and I'm taking the are you fucking kidding me side of that argument. So yeah, we'll debate this one day, Polly, you and me. I don't know why you want to get embarrassed like that, but yeah, we can do that. Because all I got to do is bring up Twitter and read. Let's see, we still got 10 minutes left of deep top time. Deep top time. That sounds like a gay show. Literally a gay show. Deep top time. Man. Programming notes. This coming Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern on my channel, we will be discussing the movie A Knight's Tale on movies you should have watched.
Yes.
Immediately following this stream, well, not immediately, as soon as we can.
Always.
I know we always say immediately. It's wrong. We will be doing a open server on 7 Days to Die with me and Satsu and whoever else shows up. Satsu, do you have the stream link? Not the stream link. Your Discord link somewhere?
Yeah, I can grab it for you real quick.
We need to put that in there because, guys, if you want to join, what we'll do is we'll put the information on there. Don't look at last week's information because the password is different. But yeah, it's first come, first serve. If you'd like to play 7 Days to Die with me and Satsu, you can play tonight.
Indeed. It will be a good time. Last time was funny. Actually, I have just about all of the videos cut up from the last stream that we did, and I'm going to be uploading those. So if you want to see the fuckery that ensued during that last stream, they will be uploading. So that should be fun.
Satsu sent me a preview of the first episode of that, and oh my god, it's fucking awesome. Thank you, Circus Zero. Fuck, I work 2 jobs, 16-hour days. I've done that for 3 to 4 years. I'm in my mid-30s. Suck it up, Buttercup. Yeah, and you know what? It's one thing if you have no skill and you're trying to get one, and yeah, life sucks. But this dude was a fucking engineering student. And he doesn't tell us, he was a bad engineering student or he's like likely to flunk out. He was doing fine in it and decided, you know what? What I'd rather do is be a starving artist and bitch that the government's not just giving me money. Engineers can make awesome money depending on how good they are, unless your bridge falls down.
Unless your bridge falls.
Yeah, that can ruin a career. What else do we have for deep topic? You guys are going to force me to go to the deep topic. Well,
I know.
Yeah, I don't have anything as far as deep topics go.
I think we've done this before. This is Icebreaker Ideas, 120 deep topic conversations.
Yeah, probably.
That's all right. That's all right. We have new people here. Ranting Monkey, didn't you have a birthday song to sing? We sang it. Was there another one? Did we miss somebody? We had Boatman. We did that at the top of the show.
I assure you, we did not miss anyone. You can trust me.
This is okay. Wait a minute. 120 deep conversation topics and questions. Deep topic conversation for dating couples. This is for you and me, Satsu.
All right, let's do it.
Talk about a significant event that caused a positive change in you as a person. Oh, you can participate in this. I don't know why that's under couples, Scribe.
A significant event that caused a positive change.
Yes.
I was born, and the world has me now.
Man, significant event that caused the death of my older brother caused me to not be so shy, and that has definitely been a positive change in my life.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to give a serious answer, I might say something. I mean, it's a little, obviously, a bit bittersweet to think of it like this, but 9/11 awakened me to the world in a way. Like, I didn't really give a shit about world events and things until that happened. Not that that's the worst possible way to start getting interested in such things, but that was the catalyst for it.
Satsu.
I don't know. I have several events, but I guess in relation to what I'm doing right now, Gamergate was probably finding out about that is what led me to where I am right now. So.
Top Ramen Lewis is happy in chat because he's actually seen A Knight's Tale. Cool. Yeah. Join us this Sunday. Let's see. What kind of date do you consider romantic? No.
What kind of date? I don't know. The one where you feel romance.
One with a woman.
Yeah, well, that's at least a requirement, sure.
Okay, I don't want relationship
Preferably
ones.
ones where there are no fatalities.
That one's for married couples. Teens. Oh, let's see what they think teens need to discuss as deep topics.
Oh, goody.
What do you think are the 5 most important traits for a person to have? Tight vagina, big boobs, fat ass, sexy eyes, and money.
Actually, that reminds me. I did have. It's not a significant event per se. I did have a happy event happen today. It's kind of a tangent. I was coming home from work, and a very pretty, curly-haired redhead smiled at me.
Oh, I bet that made your day.
Yeah, it was just like a ray of sunshine. She's probably 15 years younger than I am, but that's beside the point.
Oh, what's wrong with that?
Nothing. It's just like I'd say something, but I'm an old man now.
Okay, I got two super chats real quick. I almost got it out. Average apathetic American says, A Knight's Tale with Heath Ledger. That's where I started like Paul Bettany. He's hilarious in it. What do you guys think of Excalibur? It's a classic. Weird movie, but it was a good movie.
It was exciting in its day. I don't know that it's aged all that well, but it was interesting.
Gregory Hirsch, thank you. 9/11 was the best thing to happen to me. Scribe.
Yeah, that's what I said. You got me. Good job, CNN.
What are 2 things you like about yourself? That's a good question. Chat, answer that as well. 2 things you like about yourself in chat. Don't disappoint me here. I'm funny. I have a good sense of humor. I love that about myself, and I'm fairly easygoing, which I also like.
I am appreciative of my logical thinking, and
there you go.
I've got a decent sized penis.
There you go.
There you go.
Satsu, do you want to comment on your penis, or do you have 2 other things?
I was just like, I might have to steal Scribe's second one.
I like my dick.
I don't know. I've always been fond of my resilience, and
that's a good one.
When it comes to just dealing with shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know, just like Scribe said, my ability to look at things in a critical way without fucking my lack of emotion. There you go. My lack of emotion is actually something that I take pride in.
BG says, Renting Monkey, they're laughing at you, not laughing with you. Well, sometimes that's the point. You know what I found out, and I didn't realize this until I was in my 30s. Women don't like it when you call them by going.
They also don't like when you clap or snap at them.
Yeah. Get over here. If you had a theme song, what would it be and why? I think we were asked that not too long ago, weren't we?
If we were, I don't remember giving an answer because I probably don't have one.
You skipped most of the things we're asked.
Because I don't know.
I don't know.
Like, you know how many songs there are? A lot of songs. I have no idea.
Fun deep topics. Let's see. These aren't fun. Who wrote this shit? If you won $1 million, what would you do?
What would I do? Well, I've actually thought about this. What I would do is I would split it up into different pools of $250,000, and I would invest 3 of those portions in like annuities and things, so I'd never have to work again. And then I'd take the last bit, and I'd probably donate some of it, and just like surprise gift it to certain charities or things that I liked. Or
Oki
just
stole my answer.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Oki said hookers and blow. That was what I was going to say. Keep going.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, if the interest I get off of the investments would go towards hookers and blow, but
there you go.
Try to think smart about it is all.
Oh, that's long-term hookers and blow. You're right. That's
exactly.
Actually right.
Like I mean, if you spend it all at once, you can't have hookers when you're 90.
Satsu, what would you do if you won $1 million?
Well, I've definitely said before that I would do the thing that Scribe said and invest a fair bit of it ahead of time, so that way I wouldn't have to worry about it. And I would spend the rest of the money both getting my situation together and enhancing my YouTube career, and trying to just make this this thing that I love to do as enjoyable for myself as possible and as comfortable for myself. And I would also start investing money and making my family's endeavors start to come true, because all of my family has things that they are doing right now that is all restricted by just like, finance and time and shit like that or whatever. So I wouldn't just give them money and be like, here's money. I would help fund whatever it is they're trying to make happen for themselves. So my mom's trying to start a business. My brother's trying to start his own business. My little brother's trying to get his fucking life together, period. So I would assist in those things to get everybody on the right track.
See, this is what you guys get for listening to us, because all three of us have the same answer. I would invest it. We're boring. We're old men. We understand that that's where money's made. With that, guys, we are on to your time. Questions, comments, concerns. This is where you tell us what we should have talked about for the last 90 minutes. So make your opinion known in the chat right now. I buy you a monkey. Haven't you always wanted a monkey? I actually want one of those little finger monkey things.
A finger
I don't know what they're
monkey?
actually. Yeah, it's like a tiny little monkey that it's like not. It's a real little monkey. I don't know if it's like a baby monkey or what, but I see him on SDA said she'd buy a daddy. That's weird.
So she'd buy Irate Bear?
Apparently.
Oh.
I don't think you can buy Negroes, honey.
Oh,
I think that's against the law these days.
Give it time.
Do you think Schnitz is a funny ship name, and would you ship it?
What?
Schnitz is a funny ship name. I suppose so.
If you guys could have an exotic animal, what would it be?
Exotic animal.
A tiger. I love tigers.
Velociraptor.
Oh.
I mean, Chris Pratt can't be wrong.
Yeah, well,
there was this really cool time we went to the zoo, and this tiger wanted me to pet it. It really did.
Okay.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. Okay, the way the enclosure is at the John Ball Zoo down in Grand Rapids, there's glass on two sides of it, and then the other two sides are closed off. And everybody's standing on the one side because you can see this gorgeous tiger just laying out, and they're all standing over there. I go over to the other side, and there's this other tiger in the back who sees me, and we just lock eyes, and it stands up, very nice, slowly walks over to the glass. It puts its big old paw up on the glass and starts licking the glass all slow and lovingly. And no, and everybody comes running over like, that is so cool. I'm like, tiger wants me to pet it.
And then Monkey started rubbing his nipples, and everybody got uncomfortable, and shit just.
I would not have sex with a tiger.
I didn't say that.
Vaginas are probably huge.
I didn't say that. You said that.
It wanted to cuddle with me, and I wanted to cuddle back because I fucking love cats. I am the cat whisperer. Every time I go to somebody's house and like, my cat doesn't like people, that cat ends up in my lap getting pet.
Yeah, I've had that happen too before. It's like, my cat's very temperamental. She's very picky about who she likes. And then the cat just comes over and starts rubbing itself on my legs. And I'm just kind of like, oh, hello, kitty.
You gotta work on your pussy control, man.
That's right.
Everybody's trying to say that tiger wanted to eat me. It didn't. You had to be there to see it. And do you know how big a fucking tiger's paw is? Yeah, that thing was fucking huge.
Big as your face.
Yes, bigger than like two of my faces together.
He was like, look at that delicious human.
What do you guys think of going to museums? There's a follow-up question after I get an answer to that question.
Depends on what kind of museum it is.
I think they can be neat. Yeah, it depends on the type.
Yeah.
So waiting for your follow-up. Satsu, dog person or cat person?
Lizard
person.
I actually like dogs more than cats. But no lizard person would probably be what that wins. Although, if I did have to have a pet that was like a little furry animal, it would probably be a fennec fox because those things are fucking.
Like Jesse the Fennec Fox, one of our viewers.
Fennecs are fucking adorable.
Oki says, if you sold $500,000 worth of blow and cut it into 8 balls, how much profit would you have after shooting half of your dealers?
100%.
I don't think we're the right people to be asking.
After shooting half your dealers. I like that qualifier there.
Let's see. Can we all agree that Matt Pat should stay out of politics? I don't know who Matt Pat is.
Oh, that's a game theory dude. And yes, I should agree with that.
Monkey, did you see the video where the tiger jumped up and mauled that guy? Yes. And that fucking dude deserved it. That's another thing I like about tigers, because they had this deep. People don't realize a tiger can jump like 30 feet straight in the air. They lounge around it all the time, but there's a lot of muscle in them legs.
Oh yeah.
There was this dude who was fucking with a tiger, kept throwing shit at it, and that tiger was like, "Fuck this," and jumped up and ate that motherfucker.
I haven't seen this video.
Good for him.
Where would that be on, like a live leak or something?
I don't. If it's the one I'm thinking of, I haven't seen it in a while.
Okay.
This one, oh, this is a different. Jumped up and mauled that guy's hand while he was on an elephant in India. No, that one I haven't seen. This I saw one from a zoo where a tiger fucked somebody up.
Oh.
You said you like ramen, so what is your favorite ramen flavor? Beef. It's the only kind I really eat. I'll eat the pork if I have to.
You don't like shrimp ramen? Shrimp.
No.
Shrimp.
I like that scrimp.
Scrimp. Bubblegum.
Have you taken a Grand Monkey to an aquarium? I have not.
I've never been to an actual aquarium, and
oh, they're cool.
To go.
I can't do any of that stuff anymore. If I took her to an aquarium, I'd have to like pat her on the butt and wish her well as I sat at the entrance. If you could have an army of any animal, what animal would you choose? Human.
Velociraptor.
Velociraptor.
Always
and
a good
you
answer.
still, I say you still haven't watched the new Jurassic Park, huh?
No, I don't have any interest in it.
How about the guy who got killed by a wild bear while he was trying to take a selfie with it? Darwin's Law, man.
Yeah, good job.
Wait, did you guys see that video of that dude who was riding his bike in the woods or whatever? And he had his cam on and turned around and saw that a bear was like full speed chasing him.
I have not, but that would be awesome.
Dude, he lost his shit. He was like, oh my God.
Oh, Joyasar or Oriental flavor. Look, that is a little too.
Pretty good too.
No, that is too vague.
Too vague.
I'm not eating Orientals. not in that manner. Did we ever get Jenna's follow-up?
Yeah, if we did, I missed it.
Scroll up and see Jenna. No, that wasn't to us. That was to Bear. Nope, still haven't got it. So what was your follow-up there, Jenna? Lords of the Night, if you all died and were reincarnated into house pets as punishment, what house pet would you be? Domestic only.
Big fat cat.
Yep.
Big fat spoiled cat.
I have no idea. I hate cats. I don't. Well, no, that's not true.
What?
I don't hate cats. I hate some cats.
Take it back. Take it back.
Real quick, Jean-Pierre says, speaking of bears, what happened to Bearing? I haven't gotten notifications of his videos. I would check and make sure you're still subscribed. He's
been uploading
quite regularly.
Yeah.
God knows you get unsubscribed automatically lately.
Yeah, Bearing's still around. He's actually calmed down quite a bit.
Scribe, have you been to an aquarium?
Sure. That was easy.
Yeah.
I've never been.
Irate Bear says I'd be a husky because I'm beautiful and fucking hyper.
A husky.
Jenna P says today's generations don't care anymore about going to museums. I personally love them. But with the laziness of this generation, will museums become extinct? It took a while to type the question, though. Oh, I'm sorry about giving you shit for that.
No. They're just going to take a different form. I don't think they're going to be extinct. They're just going to take a different form, is what I think.
They'll be like, you'll have like VR museums where you can like interact with things that are digital. Like
that shit's actually pretty cool. Like I've actually
walk around and like play this Atari game in the VR video game museum or something. You know, you'll probably see things like that. I bet you.
They already got stuff like that. Like I've actually done like a virtual tour of a museum.
Oh, do they? Okay.
With a VR headset. It's pretty
cool.
Cool.
Or art museums, you know, because they just have to put up like an image of it that's been scanned, and it's effectively the same thing.
Oh yeah. Have you guys ever seen? They have like concerts and stuff, like big concerts or whatever, where they have 360 cameras placed in a bunch of different places or whatever. And if you have access to VR, you could like connect to one of those cameras and like they'll put you in a position where you're like there in the audience.
No, it's new. I mean, I've never really messed around with VR since like the 90s. So
yeah, it's pretty fucking crazy. I think they did something like that for E3. It was either last year or the year before last, where if you couldn't attend,
okay,
if you signed up on the website or whatever, they give you a link and you had a VR headset, you could like be there without being there.
Interesting.
It was pretty sweet.
BG says, Monkey, you'd be a crippled chihuahua. I am not Mexican. I think you'll probably see museums become even more centralized in large cities, and any smaller ones I think will eventually disappear, just because there's a lot more to do today than, oh, let's go look at stuff in a museum. And I don't think it's a bad thing. Some stuff needs to be preserved, I suppose, but you're looking at stuff. And I say this as somebody who really enjoys like going to Gettysburg. Living in Virginia, one of the greatest parts about living there is you have both Civil War and Revolutionary War sites all over the fucking place.
Sure.
And they're kind of cool to go look at.
If you guys saw the state of VR porn in Japan right now, you might want to invest it.
Oh jeez,
that shit is elaborate right now.
Oh sure.
Oh yeah, I seen this one setup where they have like you're positioned in front of a virtual girl or whatever, and her legs are open, and there's a fleshlight in front of you, and they got this thing you put around your waist so it'll mimic your like waist movement. I was like, holy shit.
Nuts.
I'm like, how much are tickets to Japan? Just like, Jesus.
Thank you, Terry Diamandis. I consider emulator sites to be functionally a video game museum.
Right.
Well, there's that too, yeah.
I like the idea that we can go online and see all of this stuff anyway. And yeah, it is a little bit different seeing it in person. I mean, you can't make a day of your whole family sitting around the computer watching what the museum thing, but I don't know. I think that it's kind of okay if they disappear.
Porn, the ultimate driver of technology.
True story.
Yeah, dude. The first two things that pushed VR forward was the medical industry and the porn industry.
Well, pornography and war are the two biggest drivers of most industry.
Oh,
I should say sex and war. Let's put it that way.
Sex and war.
There was a great line on Scrubs where Dr. Cox is talking about things he believes in, and one of them is that he says, I believe that if you took all the porn off the internet, there would only be one internet site called Bring Back the Porn. Yep. We still haven't figured out a hashtag for the internet fuckery.
Yeah.
We'll get on that, Top Ramen. We will. Looking at a picture of a grizzly bear just doesn't do it justice. True. But you don't usually find grizzly bears in a museum.
Unless they're stuffed.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're talking about like replacing zoos is a different thing. I could see someone making the argument that zoos are now defunct too, but.
And they basically are because of can't have animals caged. It's better to let them die off in Africa than have them over here where we can.
Yeah. I mean, if you were trying to save an endangered species and try to breed them back up to a safe population, maybe. But other than that, yeah, zoos kind of have gone the way of the dodo, to put a phrase on
it. Tim says gaming was the big factor or the big driver for computer technology. I would disagree with you there.
Government made use of computers far more than gaming ever drove it.
Gaming is certainly a factor for visual technology, but even then, I wouldn't say it's the biggest.
Well, even if that was the case, a lot of the things that you might think was influenced by that, like influenced the video game industry, like SOCOM, the game I was telling you about that I loved before. Mm-hmm. It was actually a military simulator to train soldiers before it became a game.
Right. Yeah. Well, the internet was a government project before it became, like DARPA, or at least part of DARPA anyway.
There's still America's Army out there. It is a game run by the U.S. Army. Guys, we got 15 minutes left. Questions, comments, concerns. Again, don't forget, guys, after this stream, we will be doing a open server on 7 Days to Die. First come, first serve. We'll have to get into Satsu's Discord. I will put a link on Twitter after we're done here.
Indeed.
Because you can also talk to us. We let you into the chat to chat if you're playing along.
Well, with these, Monkey, I'm about to try to get this channel to the point to where I'm uploading a video every day.
Oh, okay.
And with doing the videos the way that we're doing them, especially like a 2-hour stream, I can get like 6-7 videos out of that. And I'm just gonna queue them and have them sitting on scheduled to go up. And I'm gonna try to go not go a day without a video uploading on this channel, because we need to get some growth going on there.
Yeah, don't forget, if you're not subscribed to 2 Cents Plus, subscribe over there, guys. Jump here asks, why is a bottle of urine considered art nowadays? It's not. You have to put a crucifix in it.
Exactly. Funny you should mention that particular piece of artwork.
Yeah.
I won't say why.
There's a Easter egg for you. Have y'all never been to a dinosaur museum or a natural history museum? I've been to a natural history museum, never to a dinosaur museum.
Well, I went to the Museum of Natural History in DC when I went on a student trip one time. So
yeah, I've been to both of them, and I also went to the Science Center, which is fun.
I'm also a toucher, which is a good reason not to have me in a museum, because I want to touch it and look at it and hold it, and you're not allowed to do that. It's also why I don't go to strip clubs
anymore.
Don't touch the exhibits, Monkey. Tell this exhibit to stop pee-popping in my face.
Y'all are going to force me to go back to this list, aren't you? I shut it down, damn it. Sandwiches or ships? Data, what are you talking about? Satsu needs around 150 subs. Oh, subscriptions, guys. That's what we need. Over there on 2 Cents Plus.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
I don't know. I'll take 150 subs if there were up. Anyway.
Well, you'd have to have somewhere to...
Scribe, you gave up on that one quick.
I just thought about the logistics of actually having to house them, like Monkey was about to say. That's a lot of people.
Diesel Day, thank you. The one in Chicago is awesome. I suppose we're talking about the museum. Yeah.
Chicago.
Monkeys are touchers and poo flingers. I like to touch things. I'm a tactile person. I don't want to be touched, but I like to touch things.
Would you like to touch my monkey?
No, but I appreciate the offer. And for those of you who don't get that, that's an old person thing. What he said, not what I said.
Sprockets.
Best Jason Statham movie.
Crank is pretty good. Crank 2 is also really fun.
Yeah, those movies were funny.
But probably Snatch is still maybe his best, at least as far as his breakout role.
For me, Statham is very much the modern day Jean-Claude Van Damme. His movies suck. His movies suck.
Whoa. Have you seen Crank and Crank 2?
Yes, I've seen. one night I watched a Jason Statham movie, and then I just fucking binged everything that I could get my hands on him. And I want to say I like his movies, but they're garbage.
Jason Statham has a far, far more entertaining personality than Jean-Claude Van Damme.
He does. That's because he's the modern day one. He's Jean-Claude 2.0. They gave him a personality.
Jesus. All right.
Okay, tell me where I'm wrong. In every movie, he's got to fight somebody, and he kicks them and shoots them. The end.
He does do a lot of kicking.
I like his movies. I'm not saying they're bad.
Yeah, you said the movies you exclusively said they're bad.
I'm not saying they're bad. I'm saying they're bad. There's a difference.
Ah, okay. See, I didn't understand at first because it was nonsense, but now I
get now you're making sense.
But can Statham do the splits? Exactly.
I always heard the urban legend that Van Damme had surgery to allow him to do the splits the way he does. He didn't actually learn how.
Oh yeah, I've heard that.
Now, I don't know. I've never found out if that's actually true or not. I've just heard that several times. I'd be surprised if it was true. It sounds a little weird, but yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, that's
Monkey. Wasn't he in the Transporter? Yes, he was.
Yes, yeah, he was.
That actually might be the first role I ever heard of him in.
I remember the first time I ever heard of him in Snatch. I think that was the first time I ever saw him, or at least the first time that he ever became memorable to me. I might have seen him in something earlier.
Have you ever been to the Jewish Museum in Washington? I have not.
The Jewish.
I've never been to Washington.
You're talking about DC?
Yeah,
I assume so. Yeah, I don't know if it was there when I went. I went when I was very young. I don't know if that museum was up at that point.
The rest of what she said, this came from Jenna, was you have to be 18 to go through all of it. Nazis were not good people. They were freaking crazy. Human skin as a lampshade. What the fuck? Yeah. Nazis were fucked up.
Yep.
I mean, and I have to be careful how I say this. Yes, Nazis were insane, but there's also a lot of war stuff that happens that you might not believe happens on other sides. When Eleanor Roosevelt met U.S. troops, she actually suggested they be put on an island to be readapted to human life. And that came from the fact that some of our guys like to drive around with human heads on their tanks.
Thank you, Stargazer.
Yeah, thank you, Stargazer, for putting the link there. That's the link to come play, or that's where we'll be streaming tonight with 7 Days to Die. It's also where we stream on weekends, so make sure you check us out. Yeah, the Nazis were fucking weird, but war brings out a lot of horrible stuff about people.
Yeah,
a lot of horrible stuff.
It's a lot of things that in any other circumstance would seem inconceivable.
Yeah. Jean-Pierre says the Japanese are worse. Hey, they when it comes to fucked up things in war, there's a lot of them were bad. Yeah, that, like if the fights on like Iwo Jima, that man.
Yeah.
Don't even want to get into that. If you guys want to look up some really fucked up stuff, yeah, just look at any war. Let's see. Human skin is so thin and fragile. True, but if you treat it, you can do. I mean, it's leather.
Yeah, you treat it and cure it. Yeah.
Monkey does know my name. I do, nuts. Thoughts on, I don't even know how you say that. Poutine, is that how you say it? Poutine?
Poutine.
Just had some homemade and it was excellent. For those of you who don't know, it's a Canadian dish. Usually it's French fries with cheese curds and brown gravy thrown on top. You can put other toppings if you want. It sounds like the Canadians are trying to outdo the Americans when it comes to the fat wars. That's all.
I was about to say, what do I think about Pootie Tang?
Pootie Tang. I think you should stick with chili cheese fries myself, but you do you.
Chili cheese fries are bueno.
Baconator fries are the bomb.
You know what? Chili cheese tater tots are good too.
Oh yeah, they are. Did you guys see the video of the woman that shits on the floor of a Tim Hortons?
Yeah, somebody sent us that story. I didn't get to it.
Yeah.
In MSS
Oh,
News.
wait. Dude, I saw it, but there was no audio. Like, I didn't click on it because I was scrolling down. And I saw her lean up against the wall. I'm like, what is this bitch? Oh, my God. And then I clicked on it.
It's gross.
I'm just like...
Ragnock, thank you. You mean to tell me you don't have a skull collection? No, I don't.
Monkey doesn't.
No, when I worked at Walmart, there were 2 different occasions where shit ended up on the floor out in the middle of the store, and I don't understand how people do that.
Well, Monkey, it's a very simple biological process that most of us do.
Not standing up in a Walmart.
Oh, probably not, unless you got a diaper on or something.
Because there was like right in front of the jewelry counter one time, there was just a turd laying there.
What? Gross.
Yeah, no, swear to God.
No, I know. I don't disbelieve you. It's just like yuck.
The other thing we found a lot of at the store was condoms. People fuck in Walmarts all the time.
Well, nothing says romance like cheap socks.
I'm telling you.
You know what annoys me every time I enter a Walmart? And this is like, I've tested it. I've gone to at least 15 different Walmarts to test this theory. Not in a row, but just every time I'm in a different Walmart, I go check to see if this is a thing. And it always is. Open boxes of cereal and open boxes of juice every fucking time. Every single Walmart, anywhere. I'm just like, why? Why do people walk down the aisle, open a box of cereal, and just stick their hand in there and just put it back on the shelf? And then I've actually seen somebody open like an apple juice, walking down the aisle, take a sip out of it, and put it back on the counter. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
Thank you, Diesel Dave. Fun fact, every mammal has enough brain matter to tan its hide. Yes, including humans. Fair enough. No, the one that pissed me off the most, they didn't even open the product. They took a box of Italian ice and they left it sitting right up by the registers. And nobody noticed it. It had to have been for hours because I picked this thing up and the juice from it just went fucking everywhere.
Gross.
I was so pissed off. I saw a drumstick bone in the meat section. You know what's really happens a lot if there's a deli in yours? People will order like the popcorn chicken or the chicken chunks, and they walk around the store eating it and leave it on a fucking counter.
Yeah, dude. We used to find, because the Target I worked at had Starbucks in it, and there were Starbucks cups everywhere. Like all throughout the store. I'm like, there are garbage cans every other aisle. What the fuck is wrong with you people?
Wait, backscan, is that true? When my mother worked at Dollar General, they had a guy that would sneak in and shit on the support beam and slide his ass up and down on the carpet they had put around it.
What?
Oh, my God.
Jesus. Even if that's not true, that's amazing.
People who shoppers are fucking nasty people. They're bad people. Yeah. What's the worst thing y'all had to clean up? I've told that story. It was a woman who shit literally all over the bathroom.
Right. I remember that story.
Ragnock, thank you. One time someone got a bag of frozen chicken and put it on top of the freezers so it had been on the cooling units and heated up, and a week later popped. Oh my God.
Oh, dude,
gross.
That smell was probably horrific.
Double Fruit Zero, are people that put items they don't want anywhere scum? It depends on the item.
If that's the case, then Squishy is fucking scum.
Look, I don't. If you pick up something random in the store and you decide later you don't want it, I don't expect you to necessarily know where you got it from. But if it's a food item that's going to spoil and you just set it on a fucking counter, you're an asshole.
Well,
Mr. Baker says, by the way, I do not consent to last night's stream. You'll be hearing from my lawyers.
Oh, that's fine. I was asking rhetorically. Actually, did you guys notice that I named my stream "Do You Consent to This Stream"?
I did. I did.
People were like, "No, I don't," and I'm like, "I don't care."
Backstand said, I think that's why police officers should work in a dollar store for a few months just to stress test them. Yeah, probably not a bad idea.
Oh God. Dollar Tree is the only real dollar store in existence. No other one is real. I don't care if they Dollar General, fucking
Oh God.
Family Dollar, they're all fake.
Ragnock says they thought the bathroom pipes broke for like 3 days. You know what? The worst smell in our store ever was bad potatoes. Nasty potatoes are horrible. Yeah. And it takes forever to find that rotten one. And when you find it, you just want to vomit. But guys, on that disgusting note, we've reached the top of the hour. Another one in the bag. Chat, I cannot thank you guys enough for showing up every night. You guys, best audience. Thank you so much for the donations. As my friend Satsu said, they're not required, but they are very appreciated. And remember, I'm trying to outrace Candace here. Scribe, Satsu, a pleasure as always. Everyone, your life makes me sad. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye. All right.
I feel like they're waiting for us.
It's the waiting that's the hardest part.
If we sit still, they won't see us.
Nobody move.
I've mastered the art of moving so slowly that you cannot see me.
I came up with my word.
What is it?
It's one of my favorite words.
What's the word?
The word.
Crisp.
Crisp.
Oh.
Crisp. I just like the way it sounds.
So anybody who just happens to drop crisp tomorrow will know that they're one of the cool kids.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So if you're a cool kid, remember crisp.
Crisp.
And on that note, we have other things to do. Bye, guys.
Crisp.